Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to start a new series on Indian society. And it is not only for sociology optional students but also for anyone who wants to understand Indian society and social thinking in a deeper way. Many aspirants feel sociology is an easy subject because it talks about society which we already live in. But let me tell you very clearly, this unit will change the way you look at society and even at yourself. So, please listen carefully, and because this concept will help you not only in exams but also in answer writing and interviews. Now, let's begin with Unit 1, that is Introduction to Indian Society. Now, sociology is a very different subject compared to physics, chemistry, or even history. In most subjects, we start from zero. For example, in physics, you may not know anything about atoms before studying. But in sociology, we don't start from zero because we already live in society. From childhood itself, we observe people around us, that is, our family, neighbors, relatives, teachers, and friends. We see relationships, power, respect, inequality, love, conflict, and everything. Because of this, we feel that we already know society. But here is the real challenge of sociology. To truly understand sociology, we have to unlearn what we think we already know. Why? Because what we know about society is mostly common sense, and common sense is shaped by our family background, our caste, class, and religion, and our region and language, and our personal experiences. So, sociology begins by making us pause and ask, is what I know really objective, or is it just my limited experience? That is where sociology starts. Now, let us clearly understand the difference between common sense and sociological understanding. Common sense is not completely wrong. It helps us survive in daily life. But sociologists say common sense is partial, and partial in two ways. First, it is incomplete. We only see a small part of society, that is, our own surroundings. Second, it is biased. We usually see the world from the point of view of our own group. For example, a rich person and a poor person will see poverty differently. And also, a man and a woman may see safety differently. An urban student and a rural student may see opportunities differently. So, sociology does not claim that it gives the perfect truth, but what it does, it's very powerful. It teaches us to see society from multiple viewpoints. When we learn to see through the eyes of men and women, rich and poor, urban and rural, dominant and marginalized groups, only then do we start understanding the bigger picture of society. And also, this is extremely important for UPSC because UPSC never wants one-sided answers. Now comes one of the most beautiful and unique ideas in sociology, that is reflexivity. We study society, what do? We observe others and we judge others, and also we analyze others. But reflexivity asks us to do something different. It asks us to turn the same analytical gaze towards ourselves. In simple words, reflexivity means looking at yourself from the outside. It helps us ask, how do others see me? How does my background influence my thinking? And why do I believe certain things so strongly? So reflexivity does not mean blaming ourselves. It means questioning our assumptions. This makes us better thinkers, better administrators, and better human beings, exactly what UPSC looks for. Now let us understand the idea of a social map. Think about a geographical map. When you see a map of India, you know where your state is, whether it is north or south, or whether it is large or small. Similarly, sociology talks about a social map. A social map shows where you are located in society. For example, your age places you in a generation, and your language connects you to a region, and your class affects your opportunity, and your caste or religion shapes your social experiences. All these together form your social identity. So sociology helps us understand how these layers overlap and how they give us advantages or disadvantages, and how different people are located differently in the same society. This understanding is crucial to analyze Indian society. A famous sociologist, C. Wright Mills, introduced this idea. He said sociology connects personal troubles with social issues. Let's understand with an example. If one person is unemployed, we may say he didn't work hard enough. That is a personal trouble. But if millions of youth are unemployed, then it is not just personal. It becomes a social issue linked to economy, education system and government policies. Similarly, family conflict may seem personal, but generation gap is a social issue. Sociology helps us see that our personal problems are often connected to larger social structures. This is one of the strongest tools sociology gives us for answer writing. Now, as we grow up, society gives us a ready-made map, that is a common sense map. This map tells us what is normal and what is right or wrong, what is acceptable. But this map is limited. Sometimes it is even misleading. Sociology asks us to redraw the map. It encourages us to question like why is something considered normal, who benefits from it and who is excluded. A sociological map is broader, deeper and more critical. This is why sociology trains us to think independently. Now let us apply all this to Indian society. The biggest turning point in shaping modern Indian society was the colonial period. British rule was politically unified India and also introduced a central administration and connected regions through railways and communication. At the same time, it was exploitative. It changed our economy, education and social structure in ways that could never be reversed. After colonialism, Indian society could never return to its pre-colonial form. An interesting paradox is that colonialism created its own enemy, that is nationalism. British rule made Indians realize we are being ruled as one people. Western education gave Indians to ideas of equality, ideas of freedom, tools to question authority. At the same time, Indians began to rediscover their traditions. So, modernity and tradition developed side by side. This duality still defines Indian society today. Now, colonialism also gave rise to new social groups. The most important was the urban middle class. This group was educated, was politically aware, and led the freedom movement. The colonial rule also made caste and religious identities more organized and visible. These identities become powerful forces in modern India. So today's Indian society, such as diverse, complex and sometimes conflicted, is deeply shaped by colonial history. So now let me wrap this up. Sociology helps us go beyond narrow thinking. It trains us to question common sense, understand multiple perspectives and link personal experiences with social structure. For Indian society, understanding colonialism, nationalism and social change is a foundation. This is what makes sociology such a powerful and fascinating subject, especially for UPSC. And also, this entire PPT and these lectures are prepared strictly by taking the reference of the NCERT textbook on Indian Society class 12th. The reason I converted the textbook content into PPT form is very simple, so that you can make short notes easily and revise concept quickly without getting confused. Many students feel NCERTs are lengthy or difficult to revise again and again. So PPT works like a structured guide. It helps you understand the flow of ideas and revise them efficiently. This does not mean you should completely skip the NCERT books. You must read the NCERT Indian Society textbook at least once from the beginning to end. That single reading along with these lectures is more than enough to build your basics very strongly. So with that note, we will stop here for today. Also, I completed Unit 1. And in the coming days, I will continue with the next unit, explained in the same simple and exam-oriented manner. Until then, keep revising, stay consistent and trust the process. If you found this lecture useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel.